We're going to get into our Bears mailbag in just a few moments, but first, subscribe to the channel. If you want to be a part of our mailbags, you got to subscribe and join us live every single Tuesday. We cover the latest Bears news, rumors, daily videos for you guys here on this channel. The link's below, youtube.com/BearsNow, but just hit that big red button and subscribe. Let's start with Danny Zeff. I'm your host, Harrison Graham, by the way. A-Rob to the Chargers for the 13th pick and a third-round pick next year. Chargers get another number one receiver for Herbert. Bears get a good pick in a loaded draft. I don't think you're getting number 13 and a third. Top half of the first round and a third. Maybe 13 by itself. Maybe. As good as A-Rob is and as much as I like him, number 13 for a receiver that's a lot. Keep in mind, now I know Bill O'Brien's a moron, but they traded DeAndre Hopkins for a second-round pick. And A-Rob is not DeAndre Hopkins. If you got number 13 straight up, I still would prefer not to, but that's something to consider at that point. Even I'm admitting that. SuperNick 2006, how about keeping Nick Foles as a backup? I mean, I kind of think that's the plan, right? I like Nick Foles as a backup. He's got high knowledge of the game. He's valuable on the sidelines. If he needs to play in a pinch, he knows how to play. If you can protect him, he can still be effective. I don't want him as my starter, but he's a little expensive as a backup. But, yeah, I kind of think that's the plan. You just don't want him to enter the season as your starter. That's what you don't want. Jessup, what does it mean to be franchise tagged? The franchise tag is a tool that every NFL team has, which means you can franchise tag any of your players that are set to be free agents. So typically it's guys that are good players that are going to cost a lot on the open market and that the two sides have not been able to negotiate a long-term agreement. So a team could designate that player to be franchise tag, which means he's under contract with you for the next season at a certain price. If you get tagged, you still have until mid-July to agree to a long-term deal with that player, but more often than not, when a player's tagged, it's basically a one-year contract for that upcoming season, and then the process starts over the next year. And then I'll add this as well: a player can be tagged up to 3 times before a team must let him go. Sykes, trade Tarik Cohen, Kyle Fuller, and 3 firsts for Russell Wilson. Done. I mean, guys, any Watson or Wilson trade, I'm pretty much going to say yes to. So keep that in mind. Unapologetic truth. Why is every sports talk show host telling wide receivers to stay away from the Bears? Because they don't have a quarterback. So there you go, which gives Allen Robinson even more credit to why he signed with Chicago over Aaron Rodgers 3 years ago. The Packers wanted him. He chose the Bears. Leslie Padilla, should we trade Khalil Mack and 2 first-round picks for Russ? Yes. Done. Check. Next question. Montana4Life Times, trade AR for a 1, draft Bateman. Let's see if Watson and Wilson are in here. No, they're not. Trade Khalil for a 1, draft Azeez Ojulari, edge rusher out of Georgia, draft a tackle with the Bears' first-round pick. Tarik in 2021, draft the QB next year. Here, I'll simplify it. You use the word rebuild, this regime can't afford to rebuild, so no. Kazin for life. If A-Rob trade value is a first-round pick, this is the best move. Package him with 2 picks and a player and pick Deshaun or Russ. I'm going to keep trying to clear things up. Maybe I haven't been clear enough. Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson have no trade clauses, which means they have power on where they could get traded to because they have to approve any trade. That's what a no-trade clause means. So why, if you're Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson, would you approve a trade to the Bears if Allen Robinson is not on the Bears? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? If you're Deshaun, why are you saying, oh, yeah, I'll go to Chicago even though they're getting rid of their best player to get me? No, like, they're not going to do that. So I guess it's possible. In theory, it sounds good because of the value, but a big chip to want to go play in Chicago is because of Allen Robinson. If he's not there, then what's the incentive for Deshaun and Russell Wilson? It's certainly less than what it is if you have Allen Robinson. Will A-Rob demand a trade? Let's hear it from you guys. Type Y for yes. Type N for no. I think it's possible. Wouldn't rule it out. Get your votes in on this one. Jeffrey Harrington, no relation to Joey. Do you think that since the Cowboys and Raiders are potentially out and the Saints are in huge cap trouble, that the Bears have the best chance of getting Russ? Outside of the Seahawks keeping Russell Wilson, I am starting to think that the Bears at least have the best chance. Now, that doesn't mean they have like a 70% chance to trade for him, but maybe it's 20% versus 10 it was a week ago or something like that. Here's what we know. Seahawks are taking calls, and the Cowboys are no longer in the mix, and it seems like the Raiders are a long shot, and the Saints are as well with their cap issues. So, yeah, maybe it's Seattle or Chicago. What do you guys think? It's down to these two. Where will he play? Type SEA for Seattle, type CHI for the Bears. I still want to keep you guys, like, realistic. Staying in Seattle is still the clear front runner for Russell Wilson. But as chatter increases, as things start to change, that could change. So get your votes in right now. Guys in for life, following up on the last one, because we can sign a free agent receiver. I can't remember what he asked. Do you remember if A-Rob trade value is a first-round pick? Because then you could draft one. Is that what he asked? Because then we could sign a free agent. The timing doesn't work because A-Rob's already gone. The only way you can do that is if you, like, make it clear to Watson or Russ, hey, we've got a verbal agreement with Kenny Golladay. That's really the only way that works. I like your thinking there, but I think it's just too tricky, the timing there, to make that work. Hey, it's me again. Appreciate it, ARRIGO. Trade idea. Since we are cutting Bobby Massey, do you think we have the money to sign a nickel corner like Mike Hilton or Tory Hill if we trade Fuller? So Hilton's a nickel. Let's make that clear. He could play some outside, but he's not really a natural Fuller replacement. Now he's a huge upgrade from Buster Screen, who's gone, so that works. And then maybe, you sign a cheaper number 2 outside corner, and Jalen Johnson's your number 1. I'm more interested in him and Tory Hill. I'll just leave it at that. Get going with Bet Rivers because March Madness is around the corner. And hey, who knows? Maybe your college basketball team is going to be in the NCAA tournament. And even if they're not, my alma mater isn't. But I'm still going to have fun making some money this March at chatsports.com/betil, chatsports.com/betin. They're going to give you a 100% deposit match when you sign up at Bet Rivers. You must place bets within state lines of Indiana or Illinois, hence the 2 different links there, BetIN and BetIL. You got March Madness. The Chicago Bulls, man, they entered the break hot. Second half is about to get going here. Make some money with Bet Rivers. Chatsports.com/BetIN, chatsports.com/BetIL. Get that 100% deposit match when you sign up and make some money today. Robert Bruce, what do you think of Kyle Trask as a backup in Chicago? Late second, early third. I don't mind that value for him. I will say, though, if you get Wilson or Watson, because I think that's the scenario you're referring to here, are you spending a day 2 pick on a quarterback? I don't really think so. You got to get another offensive tackle to replace Bobby Massey unless you're comfortable with Alex Bars. And there's just bigger needs at that point. Nick Foles can be your backup. I think you're fine if that's the option. Devo Miller, what would be the QB depth chart at the start of the season? Realistic and dream scenario. Realistic. Oh, boy. That's hard, right? I mean, is it like a combination of Nick Foles and Mac Jones or Sam Darnold? A combination of that trio. I'll throw Jameis Winston in there as a 4th name, and I don't want that. Dream scenario is either Russ or Deshaun Watson with the ultimate dream would be dump Nick Foles off and get a cheaper backup as well so you can spend elsewhere. But that's like the out-of-this-world dream scenario. But, yeah, it's polar opposites, isn't it? It could go one of 2 ways. Zev, I think Bilal Nichols, Kyle Fuller, 4 firsts and 2 seconds, not including this year, is the best deal. Yeah, it sounds like a lot. So, yeah, I'd probably agree with that. Danny Zeff, more overpaid, Trevor Bauer or Dak? Trevor Bauer, 100%. Trevor Bauer, outside of 1 season in his career, has been like a career number 3 starter. So I'm not saying Dak's a top 3 quarterback, but he is top 10 and fringe top 7 or 8 when he's fully healthy. Trevor Bauer, we'll see what he does this year, but my God, that guy got the bag, and kudos to him. We don't charge anything here on Chicago Bears Now. It's 100% free. Bears news, rumors, and more videos. We do encourage super chats on our live shows because that's a guarantee to get you guys on the show. We're the most interactive Bears channel here on YouTube. We were live breaking down the Allen Robinson franchise tag before any other channel. That's why you subscribe, because we keep you up to date on the latest going on with the Chicago Bears. Vincent Burns, assuming we trade for one of the two quarterbacks, Wilson, Watson, obviously, and lose a first and second this season, what player position would you like in the third to start? If one of these tackles that has a top 75 pick grade is still available, probably just whoever that player is, best tackle available. Or at that point, you shift to BPA. Have you lost Khalil Mack in a trade? Have you lost Kyle Fuller in a trade? Maybe you go something on defense at that point. That could happen. Maybe you try and get a slot receiver as well to pair with Allen Robinson and Darnell Mooney. It's a combination of O-line or best player available if you lose your top two picks. We keep you up to date on Chicago Bears rumors and news on this channel, but I also give more opinions and takes on my Twitter account, @HGramNFL. Plus, if we missed any of your questions, go ahead and ask me over there. I pretty much reply to all of them. Message me more than once if I miss it, because sometimes I get a lot. @HGramNFL. Follow me on Twitter and ask me your Bears questions.